We're Christine and Kevin, and we've been traveling full-time as a family for over 5 years. We're spending 11 weeks exploring all over the island of Ireland, and after visiting the famous Cliffs of Moher in our last video, we're exploring the nearby Burren National Park, known for its otherworldly limestone landscape. We are really excited to visit another international national park today. In Ireland, we are at Burren National Park.
The Burren is actually a really large region in this part of Ireland. The national park itself is kind of a small piece of that. And earlier on a road trip down here, we passed through a big part of the coastal area of the Burren.
And just to give you some context of where here is, we did a road trip from Galway down to Doolin on the west coast of Ireland. We drove here today from the Doolin area and it's only about half an hour or so away. Now we're gonna get started on our first hike through this otherworldly landscape. Our trail options here are color-coded, and we're gonna start with the white trail. It is 1.5 kilometers long. It's a loop trail. And we talked to the guy at the visitor center who said, especially with kids, this is a good short distance one to give us a nice overview of Burren National Park. After that, we're gonna drive down the road just a little further and go on one of the more popular trails, the blue and green, to get closer to a really striking landmark.
This is such a unique place. I don't think I've ever seen any landscape quite like this. It's all this exposed limestone. They say that this area used to be a tropical sea, and of course that created this big limestone layer as a sedimentary layer. And then over the last ice age, the ice stripped away all the other rock on top, leaving this whole area exposed, and it's full of caves and all sorts of just crazy looking geologic formations. So it actually makes some of these paths kind of difficult to walk on, and the rock can be really sharp in places. In other parts of the Burren, there are just fields of rock with these deep fissures in them that you can walk over. It's really something else.
Because we've popped out of the tree line here and we're now on this exposed limestone pavement, we can get a really good glimpse of Mullaghmore Mountain behind me here. And this is the striking feature that I was talking about earlier, because I think it is just so cool. But because this used to be an ocean floor, it used to be up there, and the guy at the visitor center told us that it had eroded away at different speeds and frequencies all around, which is why you kind of have this terraced look. So it's neat to think that glacial ice and forces of nature over time did all of that. And now it just looks like, I don't know, some cake where the different layers are starting to droop down. It's really striking. The nature trail was a good length, I think, and it definitely gave us good exposure to all the different things you can see in the park. It was also fun as a family because it really kept the kids engaged and going because there are numbered posts as you go, and they also had a scavenger hunt page for various plants that they were looking for. So that trail went by fairly quick. Now we're gonna hop in the car and drive a little further down the road to see if we can get a closer view of Mullaghmore and the lake, maybe get out and walk along the blue or green trail just a little ways. We've now driven just a couple minutes down the road. If you wanted, you could start the red, blue, and green trail from where we were parked and walk down this road. But for the sake of ease with kids, we drove, have parked just there along with others, and have a really nice view of that lake we saw from above right now in front of the mountain. We can see tiny little people up here on the trail where it continues, and even some going up and coming down the slope of the mountain because the blue trail does go all the way around. I think it goes over the top and around. Not exactly sure because we haven't done it, but we are going to walk a little bit up the trail now to get some closer views and do at least a portion of those trails. From this angle going around the lake, you can actually see the color variation that we saw from above as well. And I think it's really cool. Again, it's fascinating to think that that inner part, that dark blue circle in the middle, could be a collapsed cavern. I also read that under the Burren is actually the largest cave system in all of Ireland. Which, if you know, Kevin and I used to do a lot of caving and would like to again someday, and so we find that really cool. We know of at least 2 caves that you can do cave tours in. There's Doolin Cave over near the Cliffs of Moher, and another one elsewhere in the Burren as well. So if you like caves like we do, you might want to take a cave tour.
Wow, this has been such a neat trail. It's just like an absolutely unworldly landscape to walk across. This has been a really, really neat hike.
It's different than any other landscape really that I can recall seeing, and to be out in it and climb up this high, even though there's a lot further to go. From here the climb really begins in earnest. We picked this boulder as a turnaround point because it is getting windier and colder, so
And it's starting to rain a little bit.
even though we're bundled up, we need to get going down. So if you are here, you should do the full hike if you can. If we ever came back to the region with bigger kids, I think we would too, because it is so cool. We've really enjoyed this whole time in Burren National Park, and if you can see it, you totally should.
We'll see you all on the next adventure.
Bye.
Bye.